Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zahira binti Zain Arifin, 118057. Today, I would like to present about individual assignment of pejuang saham Kenslim Masing Group Berhad. Kenslim is a stock screening strategy that was designed by William J. O'Neill, the founder of Investors Business Daily. This strategy utilizes both technical and fundamental analysis in determining the right stocks to invest in. The first criteria is current earnings. To get the current earnings, we must divide the net profit by the number of outstanding shares. The companies must show an at least 18 to 20% rise in the current quarterly earnings per share over the same quarter of the previous year. In the first quarter of 2021, Masing net profit represents an increase of 43% over the same quarter in the previous year. It means that the revenue growth of Masing is seen to be very good. The earning per share value for Masing in the first quarter 2021 was 1.66, increased to 45.83% from the same quarter last year. Masing posted a 31.85% decline in profit for the fourth quarter of 2019 due to lower contribution from its property development segment. This resulted in a lower earnings per share of 0.73 cents for the fourth quarter of 2019 compared with 1.79 cents for the fourth quarter of 2018. Second criteria is annual earning growth. We should look for high growth stocks that increase their annual earnings over the past 3 years. According to the Kensling method, it requires ROE to be greater than 70%. By looking at annual earnings growth and ROE, you can understand whether a company has been profitable in recent years and whether or not this growth has benefited shareholders. Based on the figure, Masing has been making profits from 2014 to 2017, while the revenue for year 2015 to 2020 is seen to decline slightly. The EPS value of Masing's company also declined from 2012 to 2020. Masing has proposed its EPS of 1.11 for the year 2020, down 75.3% from 4.49 cents it paid for the year 2019. In 2020, Masing's net profit declined to 100.4 million ringgit to 200.33 million ringgit in 2019, with annual revenue decreased 14.53% to 1.5 billion ringgit from 1.8 billion ringgit. This decline was because its property development, plastics, and hotel business were affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The next criteria is new product, new management, or news. According to O'Neill, the company needs something new to drive the sort of growth that Kensling companies require. New may mean something different, which may be an open criterion for most interpretation. Based on the figure above, there is a change in boardroom of Masing on the 4th June 2021. This change will involve a veteran of the property industry, which is Datuk Hu Hong Sang, who was once a CEO of the company starting from 1st August 2016. This announcement is considered good news for Masing because Datuk Hu has more than 30 years of experience in property development, engineering, consultancy, road privatization, and general management. Next criteria is supply and demand. When demand is greater than supply, prices will go up, and when demand is lower than supply, prices will go down. Supply and demand is referred to as a desire to purchase a stock related to available stock shares. Based on the graph, the highest volume of Masing is on 23rd April 2021 with the amount of 258.3 million. And the price on this date is 0.83 ringgit. So we can conclude that Masing has a high volume of demand since the highest volume is illustrated in the green histogram. The price on this date is 1.33 ringgit. Next criteria is leader or laggard. For leader, a company that is a leader in its industry must have some significant competitive advantages, whether in terms of product, service quality, or price. O'Neill kindly recommends looking for companies whose stock prices are higher than those of competitors, even higher than 80% of the stock market. For laggard, a laggard is a stock or security that underperforms in comparison to its benchmarks or peers. In comparison to the market, a laggard will have a lower than average returns, and the opposite of a leader is a laggard. Based on the figure, the blue line on the chart represents Masing and the orange line represents SP Setia. As you can see on the chart, Masing is moving lower than SP Setia. This means that the movement of Masing stock price is lower than SP Setia, and we can conclude that Masing is laggard for the property sector. Next criteria is institutional investors. According to ON, the company must have a sufficient number of shareholders who are some kind of institutional investor sponsorship. Institutional means the presence of institutional investors regardless of whether they are local or foreign institutions. The largest shareholder in the company is Mayangkrata Sdn Berhad with a value of 587.7 million ringgit. The number of shares for Masing is 2,427 million and the adjusted float is 68.2%. Basically, it shows that Masing is held by many retail investors and can attract many institutional investors to invest in this company since it has a large float. Next criteria is market direction. The market direction is determined by reviewing market average daily, and the market average also measures the overall price level of a given market as defined by a specified group of stocks. For market direction, I use moving average as an indicator. The curve of MA5 is in purple color, MA20 in orange color, and MA60 in green color. Based on the curve, it can be said that the moving average of Masing is falling from 0.905 ringgit at MA60 until 0.895 ringgit at MA5. The volume of moving average for Masing is also declined to 8.9 million at VMA5 and from 24.9 million at VMA60. In conclusion, the Kensling method is a very useful investment strategy that can help investors identify stocks with high growth potential. That's all from me. Thank you.